In this video, we're going to talk about what your ex wants to hear before they're willing to take you back. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. Because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by giving this video a thumbs up and by subscribing to this channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about connecting on your ex on an emotional level so that they feel heard and validated. And that is something that we do talk about in our course called the Ex Solution Program. You can find info on that right down below. Go ahead and check it out if you're curious. If it seems like a good fit for you, you're more than welcome to sign up. If not, no worries. I'm not going to twist your arm or anything like that. But let's go ahead and get into this. So, what is it your ex wants to hear? What is it that they need to hear before they're actually going to take you back? And, I'm not going to get into like specific verbatim scripts because there probably isn't like a specific verbatim script that's going to work for like a wide swath of people in order to be like, okay, say this and your ex is going to take you back. So if that's what you're here for, then you're probably going to be disappointed. You're probably going to be disappointed by this entire channel, and you probably want to find someone who's going to tell you exactly what to say. But what we focus on here is on the emotional connection. And, you obviously know your relationship and your ex better than I would. So, and probably better than anyone on the internet, really. So I want to kind of empower you to use your own inner wisdom to say and do the right things. So what exactly does your ex want to hear? Well, first of all, your ex wants to be seen and heard emotionally. So whatever caused the breakup between the two of you, there's probably something that inspired them to actually end things with you, whether that was some sort of conflict between the two of you, some sort of disagreement, they were hoping you'd show up one way, you were showing up another way, whatever, right? But there was probably some kind of boiling point where it's like, it's probably better for me to be out of this relationship than in it. And the first thing your ex is going to want to hear from you is that their opinion, their thoughts, their experience is valid. And if they can do this, it can actually be very disarming. If you can actually validate their experience, it can be very disarming to them because oftentimes your ex has this very defensive posture against you where they feel like they need to kind of like keep the walls up, defend themselves, stay committed to their decision to stay broken up with you, and that you're just kind of like coming at them, trying to change their mind, trying to convince them to take you back. First of all, you don't want to convince your ex to take you back. You want to actually have it be, a decision that they come to on their own and that they feel good about because, they made the decision based off an emotional experience that they were having, and they're not just going to be logicked into coming back to you. And so what you want to do is you want to validate them because this is going to basically let them know that like, okay, I can take my guard off. I can take my guard down. I can take my armor off around you. So you're going to effectively be telling them something that conveys the message of like, you're right. I can absolutely understand, why you did what you did. That must have been so frustrating when we just, weren't connecting because we were just so caught up in the stress of day-to-day life and, just trying to hold it together during 2020 or whatever the case may be. And, they're probably coming at you expecting you to try to, say, no, let's get back together. We can make things work or something like that. And if you just start by saying like, you're right. I mean, like, what are they going to do? Say, no, you're totally wrong. I'm wrong. We're all wrong. Like they're not going to do that. Like one of the best things that you can do to disarm someone is to start with the basic understanding that you're right. And if you can get that in place, then that often opens them up to actually talking to you and to connecting with you and to entertaining other possibilities of where your connection may go. But it actually kind of like decreases that level of, resistance, reactance, defensiveness against you, all of these other things. So you want to really start by saying, you are right. You are right. And then what that's hopefully going to do is open the door and allow the two of you to actually connect in a better way. Now, from here, you can kind of like come in and start to actually build a state of rapport with them. Rapport is, something that we teach inside of ESP, and that's kind of that specific. I'm not just kind of like using it in a broad general sense. I'm using the term rapport in a specific sense to mean that state of emotional connection that you get when you do things like we talk about inside of ESP, the intimacy bubble, pulling down to the emotional level, reward relate cycles, all that stuff. And as you get into that state of rapport, this is where you can actually start to turn them around in an emotional sense, so they actually feel closer to you and want to connect in a greater way with you. But again, first you got to crack them open. That starts with agreeing with them so that they feel validated, so that they can start to decrease their defensiveness and lower their defenses against you. And then you can kind of step in, start communicating with them, start having a conversation with them, get into that state of rapport. And then oftentimes when you're in that state of rapport, you can often have conversations about big things, like potentially even the big thing, getting back together, or potentially other big things like, oh, hey, like this is what happened in our relationship, or this is the dynamic I see happening over and over and over again with us, or whatever. Or you can also ask for certain big asks that might be kind of a little bit risky if you just do it any other time, like asking to meet up, asking to, get together, asking to have a phone call or something like that. That can make sense as well too. But there's a lot more that you can do. There's a lot more flexibility that you have if you're in that state of rapport. So definitely strive to get there. And then, whatever seems like the next step from that state of rapport, whether that's meeting up, whether that's talking about some dynamic that's happening between the two of you, whether it's actually having a conversation about getting back together, or whatever the case may be, do that from a state of rapport, and that is going to be much more likely to be accepted, okay? So again, overall strategy: crack them open, validate them, decrease their defenses, validate their feelings, all that stuff. Then we want to actually get our foot in the door, create that emotional connection, get into that state of rapport, and from there we can use an ask to get to the next step. So like if you're just texting, you might want to move it to having a phone conversation or meeting up in person or something like that. Or if you're already like talking on the phone or talking in person and you're like deepening that emotional connection and you have a good solid foundation of an emotional connection, you might even consider talking about some bigger issues like dynamics that happen between the two of you, what didn't work in your relationship, what you want, how you want to fit into each other's lives, even potentially getting back together. And that's really on a communication standpoint what we want to happen through all of this, okay? And again, that is stuff that we all teach inside of the X Solution program, link down below. But again, this is the overall framework. And, in terms of what to actually say, you got to adapt it to what your situation is, to what your unique voice is, obviously. Like, I just don't want a bunch of, clay robots out there just saying the same things that I would say. I want you to say something in your own voice, in your own way, that's going to communicate that, hey, I care about you. Yeah, I get that how I behaved in that situation hurt you, or whatever the case may be. But go ahead and communicate it in your voice and build that state of rapport, and then transition to whatever seems to be like it might be the next appropriate step for you and them. And of course, if you need a little bit of extra help with that, we have ESP down below. But if you like this video, if it helped you out, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to also talk about what you think your ex needs to hear in order to be open to the idea of taking you back, please share that down below in the comments section. And once again, thumbs up button, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you do want to learn more about what your ex is thinking on an emotional level, please feel free to check out this video series over here. Or if you want to check out this video, it's right there as well too. It's auto-generated by the YouTube algorithm. Might be interesting for you. Anyway, take care, and I'll talk to you next time.